All right, cool. So we are at the last project for the year. We started what, like 6 months ago, something like that. Now, all the way December 18th, we've learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript from the online course at first. And then we dove into React.js, which is the finish line, really. And I'm happy y'all even got there. I think there were previous two projects before this one was in React. So y'all had a chance to like do this. I guess like work with React 3 times now for a project, which is really good. I do want to like, I guess, give people a perspective of like how it is to even go through this boot camp. So what I can do is we can start off talking about like maybe each of y'all could give y'all take on like the journey that y'all had so far, like so maybe give like maybe give people an idea of like how hard or if you thought it was easy or how the difficulty of the class, and maybe talk about like anything that you hope to see in the future for the class. Just kind of give like your reflection on it. And let me actually put a few questions in the chat. Let's see. Actually, let me actually go around and ask each of y'all a question about the class, just so we can get some momentum started. We can start with Terrence, just because your name is right there before everyone's. I guess my question to you would be like, just overall, what do you think you is most valuable about the boot camp? About
Um, yeah, I think just the amount of knowledge that you gain in such a short period of time, it is the most valuable part of it, and how quickly you learn. Like I said, starting back in June, I had a little bit of JavaScript, took some here and there courses, and actually I should share that piece because I did try doing it on my own years ago. Let's say maybe 2016, 2017 or so.
Mhm.
And so I took a course similar to the one I took for years, just, strictly online. And I kept just getting stuck, kept getting stuck. And I would look up stuff, but I would also just lose steam too. When you get stuck and you don't necessarily have a community like we have in this class here, and it's not a actual person to reach out to, it could be difficult and you can lose momentum. And I even tried overcoming that by paying somebody. I went on this website called takelessons.com, and I got a few people to train me. I was paying those guys $50 an hour to teach me JavaScript, and it started getting too pricey. I'm like, okay, I'm like $300 in, and I still don't feel like I'm I'm learning enough. And so then after that, my momentum completely just died. And I kind of just put it on the back burner from like 2017 until June of this year when I seen your course on Instagram. And so I reached out to you. We had our orientation, everything went well, and that was the missing piece for me. It's just the fact that I have the support in the community, and that gave me the momentum to keep going, because I like to interact and participate, to know that my knowledge is actually going somewhere other than just doing the project, just to knowing that not only that I maybe completed a project or a task, or I know about a lesson that was taught and I can participate. That helps. That's better than just trying to do it by yourself, because you can just quickly lose steam. And then just the ability to reach out to yourself or any of the classmates if I need help with something. And the other piece I guess I would speak on is the code wars. That really helped as well, because the course is really good, but the code wars is like the practice. Like if you like math, they used to give you a math homework. They'll send you home with a page of like 20 problems, and they're all like easy, like multiplication, and you fill it out, you turn it in the next day. That's to me what the code wars is. It's just reinforcing what you're teaching, because we can go to any of the code wars, and just to fill in, code wars are just basically coding problems, short coding problems for the most part. They're short, maybe 20-minute coding problems that you can solve by using the skills that Isaiah taught in the course, and it just helps to reinforce it. Some of the teaching concepts like loops, objects, arrays, things like that, you'll start to hear, as you're along in the course, and you may already know about them. But the code wars, it really just kept me consistent and built that momentum, so that I didn't just give up. And you actually told me, Isaiah, said, hey, you guys should also post these code words on LinkedIn. And that's when I said, you know what, that's a great idea. I'll post it and then challenge myself. So I said, I'll do 100 days in a row, just so that I'm accountable for doing what I say I was going to do, and to keep the momentum going. I think that's really the name of the game here. Is just, you got to stay in it consistently and find ways just to stay in it consistently. Because after you do that, it does become a lot easier. And when you look at it, you look back, you'll realize you've learned so much. And it really becomes second nature after a while. When you see the code, you're reading it almost like you're reading a book. When before you looked at it as just a bunch of letters and text and symbols, So
Yeah.
I think that's my overall experience here.
Cool. You touched on a lot of stuff. And I find a current, like, I mean, a consistent like theme between kind of people I talk to about like people that kind of join this boot camp or whatever. Like some people would learn it on their own or try to learn it on their own, and then they get the community, and obviously, it's night and day difference, because like it really is a night and day difference. Can anybody else relate to like any of the things that Terrence kind of like touched on, just or like or just anything about your experience on the boot camp?
Yeah, I personally can relate to a couple of things that Terrence said. So,
Yeah.
so with starting up, so I didn't have any JavaScript experience when I first started the class. I had HTML and CSS, because I was doing those like free boot camps and free websites here and there, just like watching videos online. So a
Mhm.
lot of it was like super, intro to a lot of things. So once starting up here, I was like, okay, I'm familiar with a lot of these concepts of HTML and CSS, but I learned like, it was a lot more in depth on how to actually apply them, because a lot of those like websites, they didn't have, I would say they didn't have like much of a hands-on interface. So typically you were just using like their website to input the information on, or like test it out. So it really wasn't giving you like a real world experience on how it would look. So at least with here, one of the first things that you had us do was install the programs that we would need, and some that were, even if these weren't the ones we were using on the job per se, they were still way more realistic than that setup. So even that small piece alone, like, gave you more in-depth and more, but better view of how it would be just working on these various programs in general. And altogether, it, like he also said, you had people, or a person or more people to reach out to, and even if you having a question or you see something that kind of doesn't quite make sense, because sometimes looking stuff up doesn't always yield the best results. Sometimes it is easier just to ask somebody with experience, or somebody who may have like crossed this path already. So having that community backing you, like live people that you can actually not only like message or send a text to, but actually verbally communicate with, so you get full understanding, and not just, okay, I'm reading what this person sent me, but I'm still not getting it.
Mhm.
So having that also was a very big plus, outside of the Udemy course as well. That was held with like a lot better information, more in depth on how things should be. And that really helps to get the ball rolling on a lot of things. Like, okay, this is how this actually works, that's how this connects. Because
Mhm.
it felt, with those free websites, it can feel like it feels like you're learning how to do it, but not but you're not like really fully. It still feels like on the surface of a lot of concepts.
Yeah. Some of the things you kind of touched on was like, um, and Sam, I hate to put you on the spot, because some of the things you were talking about, Kev, it kind of reminded me of Sam when he first started here. I remember
Mm,
when, so when he first started, he knew a lot of stuff like Node.js, JavaScript. He was doing, what was it? That, that templating, Node.js templating engine or whatever, even some database stuff. Sam, when you first joined, I was thinking to myself, like this kid, like he knows a lot of stuff, but he needs to needs like to be kind of like molded in a way or whatever, like to like focus in on what's more important, and just like kind of get a little bit of direction. Like, so Sam, my question to you is like, what do you think? What do you think is the most important thing you kind of got out of this boot camp? Like, did it help you? How did this kind of like help you in your situation? Like someone already knowing back in
Yeah.
a little bit of database stuff.
Yeah, in this class, I really learned a lot, quite a lot, in terms of like before I joined the class, I knew JavaScript, but it wasn't like compiled. I didn't understand it well. Like I understood it in bits. I didn't fully understand JavaScript, and I didn't know Git. So I was just learning on the surface. So
Yeah.
when I joined the class, it helped me like join everything together in terms of newer JavaScript syntax, Git, and how to navigate the terminal, because I was like totally lost on terminal, Git, and all this command line. I usually push code to GitHub through the user interface, but the class helped me in terms of Git, JavaScript, and including HTML and CSS, because I was forced to learn things in order to complete the project fast, in order to develop the project on time. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm glad I can help you in that way, because I definitely seen that you was going on like the right path, but like you just needed like some type of structure inserted. But yeah, you definitely, I mean, you're definitely the youngest one here, and and definitely have like the most potential, in my opinion. I hate to, throw it about it, where you're like 19 or something like that. So yeah. Yeah, I was about to call on you, Evan. Actually, you're the second youngest. How was it? How was it from your perspective, like being in college and like doing this at the same time? Like, what was it like for you?
But the
well, okay, sorry. Oh, so
Oh,
I
wait,
thought it was me.
are you talking to me or Samuel?
Evan, I was talking to you, Evan. You can go ahead and give your.
Okay. Well, doing this and college at the same time, and it was all right. I mean, you only got to meet like 2 times a week, so like it's not taking up too much time.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was doing an internship and also working a job at Lowe's Foods while going to college in my last semester. That caused me to get like a C in one class.
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy how that is. It's like those trade-offs. It's like that your class is going to be affected if you're doing an outside thing. But the crazy thing about it is that literally when you graduate, like no one cares about your grades, like at all. Like, would you agree, Jay? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, just like your grades in college, and like just like what you can really accomplish. I feel like I might be going on a tangent. So, but yeah.
I think that's fine. And I think the users watching this will appreciate that tangent, because a lot of people who are wanting to join cohorts are either coming from different jobs. And so they have questions related to, okay, I'm not in the tech field. So, how do I fit in? Or they have those questions like Evan and Sam would have. Hey, I'm in college, got a lot on my plate already. How would that look for me? So, I think this is a very wonderful and helpful tangent that you're going off on. But to comment on what you asked me to comment on in the first place, when you graduate from college, once you have your diploma, that's pretty much that. Some jobs will ask for a transcript, but for the most part, jobs don't really care about that. Jobs only really care about experience. How much experience do you have in the field that you're trying to get a job in, or what type of experience do you have doing things related to the job? So leadership skills, organization skills, social skills, etc. Like those are really the skills that the company is looking for. And in the tech field, of course, technical skill is king. You know what I'm saying? So Uh, yeah, your grades matter, but they don't. They only matter for you graduating. Once you graduate and grab that diploma,
Mhm.
that's pretty much the end of that. There, like I said before, though, there are some jobs that, okay, what grades did you get and all of that type of stuff. But for the most part, they only care that you graduated. Because let's be honest, what was it, Bill Gates? I think it was Bill Gates that was a C student, or one of them extremely famous rich people was a C student and was able to still have a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, people, just because your grades are low doesn't mean that you're inept, you're technologically inept or anything like that. You still have skill regardless of what your grade says. Some people just bad at taking tests and stuff like that. And employers know that to a great degree. So they won't focus on that too much. That's not to go say don't learn what your classes are teaching, because everything you learn in college, or a lot of the stuff that you learn in college, though it may not be applied directly to the job that you have, could always come in use. It could be a one-off, but that one-off usefulness could actually help give you more opportunity or push you further. Like the little bit of English or the little bit of Japanese that I learned in college, actually, Spanish actually helped push me forward. So, it's definitely worth paying attention. Definitely worth trying your, excuse me, trying your hardest in college. But don't don't believe that just because you got a C or something like that in class, that's gonna stop you from, reaching your full potential, or stop you from learning, or stop you from potentially getting a job. Yeah, just focus on graduating. Graduate, get your diploma, and focus on trying to get experience. And that's the real thing, just trying to get experience
And Evan,
and not jump off myself.
what are you going to school for again, Evan? I forget.
I'm going to school. I'm going to school to be like a software engineer. That's what you said, right? That's what you asked.
Yeah. Were you taking what kind of coding classes did you take so far? So you're a junior right now.
Or I'm taking like comp 163, comp 167. I'm
Yeah.
taking data structures right now. I forgot what it was called, but it was dealing with like different like equations you'll face like in coding.
Like which, all right, so your comp sci ones, are you doing like C++, you doing Python?
I'm doing a C++ right now, but I did Java in the past.
Okay. All right, cool. So you definitely get a lot of different types of experience. One of the things that I've seen people that go to college for computer science have is like a lot of theory that people that don't go to school for it don't have, because like when you don't go to school for it, you're really just focused on how to get it done or whatever, and you're not really thinking about the theory as much. But sometimes the theory do matter, especially when you're building data structures or working or trying to like piece together different architectures for your coding or whatever. Let's see if there's something in the chat. Fishery. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, that's that. So Jay and Duran, whoever wants to pick up on this, like y'all are like the like quote unquote like OGs of the camp. Like, do you feel like what's your kind of like thoughts on that? Just kind of like seeing the boot camp kind of like transform over time, and like did you get like a lot out of this cohort?
I'll jump in with this one, and I'm gonna kind of tackle two things at the same time. First of all, what was important to me is the fact that this was real world stuff. Like I really like the fact that you really took the approach of making us job ready from the get go. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a lot of things that I was, because I was, before running into you, I was brand new to all of this. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of cutting off the fat you know what I'm saying? And really kind of honing in and giving us a laser focus, I thought was pivotal. As far as the growth, like I want to say is it was definitely more in depth and more intensive as far as adding the Cold War challenges, you know, stressing those. I mean, that's something that, you know, everybody's kind of talked about because what it does is kind of builds up your persistence, kind of tagging into what Terrence was talking about, which is definitely important in this industry. You know what I'm saying? You being able to, you know, continuously to focus on staying persistent on solving the issue. Because there's so, you know, as you go through this, there's so many different ways to solve a problem. You know what I mean? It's just you being persistent on trying to find out and really kind of work and keep working towards it. The community that's set up is pretty dope because you know, not only do you have you, Isaiah, but you have so many other resources and other people that can help you, you know, because everybody's good at something. You know, everybody's not good at the same thing. But with you being able to actually reach out to other classmates and things like that in order to help each other, I thought was definitely important.
Yeah.
So overall, I really took a lot from this boot camp, and you know, I really like the trajectory that you're going on, Isaiah, too, and the fact that you're really trying to help, you know, Black people get to the next level. The importance of technology, the importance of coding, because you know everything is going towards a computer, you know, just towards computers and towards coding in this world anyway. So you know, you giving us that background and you know you giving us that mentorship per se was definitely dope, man. I appreciate you tremendously for that, man.
Thanks. And y'all definitely helped me out also a lot with stuff. Like you even telling me about that the chat GPT. Like literally when you told me about that, like 2 days later, it came on my timeline. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what Duran was talking about. And I went through the video and like this was like it's like a 30-minute video on this. And it's just kind of like, I mean, I knew what it was when I first looked up the description, but I guess I didn't realize the significance behind it. So like staying up on like current technologies and like just knowing what the trends is going to be is like priceless because like we see more people about to start losing their jobs and yeah with this chat GBT. How did you hear about it, Duran? Did someone tell you about it? You just happened to come across it like in like the information that you kind of like consume or whatever?
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta get back to work.
Okay, that's fine. So Evan, after it's fine. After the project presentation or whatever, I'm gonna be giving out awards. I'll just send yours to you. I'm gonna be dropping them in the Slack channel.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right. Thanks for teaching me.
Yeah, no problem. All right, see you, Evan.
Bye.
Catch you later, Evan.
Peace, Evan. I have like what I try to do on my Instagram page is at first I had a lot of BS, but as I started getting into more into coding and things like that, I tried to hone down because I try to watch what I put into my system as far as what I watch, what I read, and things like that. So I started following a lot of people who were up on current technology and things like that. And just like you, I kept seeing this reoccurring Jack GPT, you know what I mean? And starting seeing stories that were talking about how it's going to take, you know, coding to a different level and copywriting to a different level
Yeah,
and all that type of stuff.
Like everything like is different. It's just like
so I did my deep dive into it and I was like, wow. So I really just, you know, just through, you know, being in this boot camp and things like that, just staying abreast on what's new. Because yet again, I do know, you know, technology is the wave. So, you know what I mean? That's gonna rise our people up, right? So we need to stay abreast of these type of things. You see what I'm saying? Because if we're last to the party, you know what I'm saying? We won't have representation in that party. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
you know, I just want to make sure that I stay on top of those type of things. So, once I saw what it was, I definitely, the first person I thought about was, damn, Isaiah. Let me see what he thought about this. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to get your feedback on what it was and what you thought about it. So
Yeah, yeah, it's different. Yeah, I'm seeing people are like using it for like college, like to write their papers. People are using it like on a job. Then they were saying that GitHub had, I don't know, Stack Overflow had banned any answers from the chat GPT because people were answering things that they knew nothing about and just letting the computer figure it out. And like just the fact that we can like do stuff like that, it really does speak to like where this tech stuff is going. And like this is like just the beginning of this whole tech stuff. Like I can see this being like, okay, like the point in time where people are just getting interested in it. Like it's like a big topic right now. And then like it just kind of like expanding outward. And now that this chat GBT showed up, there's like, I was looking at a documentary and the guy was breaking down like how many, like the possibility of how unlimited industries just kind of opening up because of this one program. Like people in finance, people in, like, I don't know, user experience, coding, actually, I mean, just like anything, like call centers, virtual assistants. Like there's so many different industries, law, medical, obviously. And then from there, you're gonna have a bunch of developers that need to be hired. And it's almost like an exponential effect where you're just gonna need more and more developers until like you just don't have enough or whatever. So I'm definitely glad to be part of helping the Black community get into this, because my goal really is to have us like dominate this field. Like we don't, that's just me being honest. So
yeah,
Yeah,
well, the other thing too is the artificial intelligence aspect of it, and it's so many different industries that is kind of uprooting. I wouldn't say uprooting, but changing. How about that? That's a better word. It's changing. Because as a creative, as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different AI art engines now that it's making you stay on top of your game.
yeah,
Because if you don't, you know what I'm saying, then it's easy for somebody to just input into an AI art engine to create this for you. And like I was even reading a story yesterday where a dude created with Chat GPT, he created a whole children's book. Well, it was Chat GPT along with another AI image engine, which basically created the illustrations for him, and he was able to use Chat GPT to write the whole book. Like you know what I mean? And he put it on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So like, and started selling it already. So like, these type of things that we need to stay abreast on. We need to stay on top of, because something that has been drilled into my head is that if we don't have a representation in the code and we don't write the code, we're gonna get written out the code. You see what I'm saying? And we're not gonna have somebody in there telling it from our perspective, which is important, right? So that yet again, going back to why this boot camp is so important is because it gives you the foundation that you need. Like I said, I came from the aspect of not really knowing too much about coding in general. You understand what I'm saying? But after this, now I have so much of a bigger platform to stand on to take me to the next level, which is important, not only for me, but my family as well.
yeah, for sure. I do want to like open it up for anybody that do have any questions or like any thoughts on anything like for like the actual students. And just out of curiosity, did anyone get the project up yet or running?
Yeah, I had it. I got it now.
You got it. Okay. All right, let's actually jump into that really quick. Because time will like fly. We've seen it fly really real quick. So yeah, if you can share it, just go through a quick demo of what was done. It can be like a 5-minute thing, or less, or however much time it takes you to actually demo it. And then I'll start asking questions and giving my thoughts on some of the stuff.
Okay. So this is the project that we all worked on. It's an e-commerce website that displays some products on the front page.
Okay.
So we had some projects, some data at first in the data folder, and then we mapped through to display it on the front page. Then we also made the search functionality with the help of the context API. And yeah, and we also made the cards section. Yeah, Terence was the one that worked mainly on the card section. We also made the card section. We persisted the state in the local storage. So even if you refresh, it still stays like that, still stays there. So you can increment and decrement. And you can also remove from cards or add to the cards. So we later on pushed the data folder to the Congratz API. That was Jay worked on that section. He pushed it to the, so this information now is coming from the Congratz API, which is like a database that holds the products. So yeah.
Can I see the can I see like the, so if you go to Congratz, can I see the information that's in there? Like the actual, like the JSON?
This is the Congratz.
Yeah, go click on store. I want to see, like, you know what I mean?
These are the products.
Yeah, it's not like organized here, but I see that you have name, price, quantity, image, discount. Okay, you have the old price, favorite. Okay, y'all put a lot of stuff. Y'all even put tags in there. Okay, so is there any like, what do you think, like, so this is really good, first and foremost. Y'all definitely have a lot of like descriptive information in Congratz. And for people that don't really know what this is just for like the video. Congratz is basically an online database, and what's shown right here is called JSON, something that you'll learn in the class. Basically a way to read some of the data out of that database in like a way that JavaScript can understand. And yeah, that's basically what this is. So my question to anybody that worked on this, not just you, Sam, but just anybody, and if you want to answer it, Sam, it's fine. Do you see
Go ahead, I'm listening.
what are some future like improvements on like what you've created, like anything you could do to make it better?
So before I answer that question, I do want to answer, or at least say something about that information on screen. So the reason that information is out of order is because the version that Sam has does not have index in there. That we were having that problem. That was actually an issue we were running into, is the data not the server not storing all of the data, as well as not storing it all in order. So in order to have that happen, I had to add index in there, and then it started taking the IDs of each of the objects in the array, and it actually put those things in order. So that should be in order, but I just have to add index to the function that we use. So we use the map function in our code. We use the map function in order to map through the items array to map each of the objects to the server using fetch. So we use map and fetch in order to take each object and then send it to the server. Well,
could we actually show that on the screen as well, like while you're kind of talking about it, just to get a visual?
Yeah. Go to that code.
Jay, can you control my screen?
From here, no. And the reason I can't is because my computer is moving like 2 miles an hour. But let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull up
that request. I just want to see like the actual GET request.
So go to the not the seed, not the items. Go to app.js. Let me see what's in there. Okay. I was just checking that then. Go to products.js. There we go. All right. So maybe that's it.
So like it's probably in set items. That's set items. Okay, I see. So you're making a request, you're setting items. Where is the items going? Like so line 16 items on the variable there, like where are you using that in the code?
Line 16. So that items is the state that constantly changes. So the item state that changes, and that item, the items variable is being set at line 20. And then everywhere else items uses where it's being set at.
Can I see the JSX part, like the HTML part? You scroll down.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure.
It's being returned.
Yeah, there we go. Keep scrolling.
Keep going down. Okay, here it is here. So items dot fill. Okay, so you're filtering. Oh, wait. What is this doing? Is this a search functionality or?
Yeah, this is the search functionality. Then
Okay.
the map, everything.
I see. Okay.
It's, oh man, did I delete the API handler? I think I did out of that mod. Let me see.
I like how y'all did this here. I never actually saw like someone chain the functions like that inside of React, but it's actually pretty convenient, especially with the search. It's very like convenient way to do it. Did someone think about this, or did y'all see this like online? Online somewhere. Like whose idea was to create it like this?
That's Sam right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, quick way to make it. So I've made like search functionalities before, but like I didn't think to do it like this. But now I have something else under my belt or whatever. So for anybody that don't know what this is, and I know anybody's watching potentially. So filter is basically, so items, the items is coming from the actual database. So every single item that y'all saw on the screen is coming from the database. Filter is going to filter out things that don't match a certain, like basically what y'all look like y'all are filtering out on, like if the name doesn't match, or if the search item is not contained within the name of the item.
Yep.
So you're filtering out that, and then you're looping through. So the dot map on 51, you're looping through and displaying each individual product on the screen. Looks like. Okay, and you pass it to add to cart button, add to cart function, which is nice. Okay, cool. So where is so y'all made the GET request here. How do you, so I think it was two things. Was it a GET request and where's the CD? The CD, go ahead again.
Yep, I was just gonna say go to that C folder. There you go. And so this is where we added the index. And so the index, after I added the index, it started posting things in the correct order. I don't know why it's not working now, but so this is where we actually posted to CrudCrud.
Okay. Okay, so basically it looks like you're looping over items. Can I see what's in items really quick? Is it just like a JSON, like an object? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a library.
Okay. So you're looping over this and you're posting these things to CrudCrud, and you want to keep in order to keep an order, you'll give it an index. What I would let me see. What I would
use those IDs to try to keep them in order. So the ID is the key, essentially.
Okay. That's what you meant by okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, another way to do it, and this is just like something I'm kind of like thinking of, is to give it a timestamp actually, never mind, that probably wouldn't work because it would be kind of instantaneous. Every one of those entries will probably have the same timestamp. Okay, cool. So this is that structure that I saw. What were you going to use? What were you going to use? Like, can you show me how you're using that tag property? Like, are you using it currently, or?
The
Yes.
tag.
Yeah. The tag is for, if you want to pull up the page again, the display, it's probably easier
Yeah,
to.
the products.
Yeah. But if you pull up the actual app, then we kind of show them visually, like what that tag represents.
Like the
I mean, I should go to the app.js.
Oh,
Right.
not app.js, the actual program. Pull up the full
Go,
program.
go to the page. So
Yeah,
go to your browser.
So those are like hot promo. You see there all the way to the left, new, bestseller. Those are the tags.
Okay, cool.
And then like you see some of them don't actually have a tag. So when when you first sent us, you just kind of sent us a screenshot of what we wanted to create. And I noticed some items had tags and some didn't. So that's kind of where we integrated that into our JSON.
Okay, cool. So you're using the tag, you're using the name, the image, the price. Is there anything else y'all are using from that object? I remember saying like old price. Did y'all incorporate that one? I'm just saying like how much
Oh
more.
yeah, that didn't get fully flushed out. Because we were going to apply discounts, but that didn't get fully integrated into this
I see.
iteration of the program.
So that's one thing that that could potentially make it better. It looks like. But yeah, y'all definitely hit all of the requirements. The only two requirements was to see the database and to be able to display it on the screen. Really.
Oh, it was seeded. So it was seeded before and then displayed. So this is being displayed from the server actually. That c.js
Yeah.
runs the function C database, and then that was run before the program was started. Other than that, nothing would show. So if you change that CRUD key, then nothing would show on the screen.
Cool. Yeah. So look, y'all did a good job with this. Honestly, anything that y'all like kind of learned from this, just doing this
Yeah.
project?
I would say to touch back on, and I should have actually mentioned it earlier. What Deron was saying was that, this class really gets us job ready. That's really like the key word, is job ready. And I say that because, Evan was just on here. He's in college and he's got a wealth of knowledge in terms of the programs he's already learned. He's miles ahead of probably everybody, in that sense. But when you talk about job ready, you talk about collaboration. All the projects were group projects, and you did that for a specific reason. You even got pushback from some of us saying, hey, can we do these by ourselves? And he said, no, we want you job ready. On the job, you're not doing it by yourself. You're working with somebody and you're sharing a code base, and you have to collaborate, or you're going to run into situations where you have merge conflicts, the code ain't right, it ain't ready. And we kind of see a little bit of that here with our project as we're working on it. Everybody may not have the same code base because we're sharing it and we're pulling it up and down and merging and things like that. So I would say that could be, tightened up across the board, is the collaboration aspect. And I would also just say thanks for even making sure that when we did these projects, we did them as if we were working on the job, because that's a teachable moment, because we can learn how to code all day, but if we're pushing up code and overwriting our coworkers' code, we can break our apps very easily. And, obviously this is a project, but if we're on the job doing this type of stuff, it's a no-go. So I just like the way that you were teaching it from the perspective of, hey, you're on the job. This is your 9 to 5, work with your team, collaborate, and make sure it comes out good from a teamwork perspective, not just a finished product perspective.
Yeah, for sure. And if y'all, just from me kind of like looking at this project, like literally, if any one of y'all brought this project to an interview, I don't think y'all understand like how impressed the people is going to be. And I feel like y'all won't really understand until y'all actually see like them be impressed by it. because people don't come to jobs with these projects. They really don't, especially already connected to an API. Even if you're saving the stuff in the local storage, which the cart normally is saved in local storage because they want to save space on the database side. Like it all kind of like fits, and even those little small pieces, y'all kind of like using some of the JSON. Literally, that's all you're going to be doing on the job. You pull in information, it's going to come back as JSON, you displaying it on the screen, and then you just using JavaScript to add different features, manipulate the data, show the data different types of ways. Everything is about like just showing some type of data. So yeah, I definitely want to let y'all know that this is a big accomplishment, especially like for like the last one, and like one to be able to show like employers. So speaking of employers, questions I always ask, how is the job search? Did anybody get any like callbacks? Anybody start speaking to any recruiters at all? Yeah, what's kind of like your thoughts on some of that?
Yeah, no callbacks yet, but I have been just kind of, applying steadily, and still I've been applying with the resume I have, but also just trying to tighten up my resume as well, just to make it more presentable as I apply. So
yeah, and just to let y'all know like how much y'all should expect to make or whatever. I don't ever want to give y'all a number, but with this project, if I was interviewing somebody and they showed me this project, I would say that person has to at least get paid 80K at least. Like I don't want to like tell you not to accept anything under that, because y'all know how the show is. You work somewhere and then you leave after a year and you get paid, you leave 6 months to a year and you get paid like $20,000-$30,000 more than what you previously got paid. But yeah, something like this, I would say like 80K is like something that's easily could be attained from a project like this. So yeah, those kind of my thoughts on it. Yeah. All right. So unless there's any other thoughts from any of you, we'll just start the quick. We'll start like the graduation part of it, just me giving out certificates, and yeah, and then we'll open it up for anybody else to ask any questions. But let me pull it up on my side. All right, so I'll share my screen. It's gonna be a little bit corny, but I got some I put some things together. Let me share. All right, cool. So hold on, all right, cool. So I have here a like a clapping or whatever. So we're gonna be playing that when we're giving out the awards. But let me just start a quick presentation mode. Okay, present. Actually, hold on. Let me put this in a different tab. One moment. Okay, present. So this is the 4th cohort of Black IO bootcamp. It's definitely been a journey. I remember when we first started, we didn't have much like infrastructure. It was literally me just on Instagram trying to like get people to come out and code. But like this class wouldn't have been a class without people that actually took the knowledge like seriously and made time and just kind of like had time in their like everyday lives to actually do something like that, or do something like this. One of the things I wanted to kind of touch on is like the why, you know, like why are we even like doing this boot camp? And like the reason we're doing this is not to know how to code like that. Like, well, for me anyway, it's like I'm not doing this to teach people how to code. I'm doing this so that we can get a we can jump into an industry that pays a significant amount of money, and that money, you know, as a byproduct, will help you learn about, you know, money itself. Like you don't really learn about money until you have money. It kind of gives you a like peace of mind, because I mean you make so much that it's like, you know, you don't have to worry about like eating, you don't have to worry about paying rent, you don't have to worry about like all of the normal things most people in society are out here actually like thinking about on a day-to-day basis. The rat race is essentially eliminated, and you get a chance to experience like your salary jump significantly. It's not a gradual change. You don't have to work somewhere for 20 years to do this. That's what I wanted to bring to y'all. And I also wanted to bring, well, and this is the most important part of it, I want to bring a community that that like kind of like showcases our culture. Like we're not afraid to like be ourselves, like no cultural appropriation going on. Like this is like Black excellence, like at its best. And that's what this boot camp really is. Like it is a coding boot camp, but like there is much more than just that. And I'm definitely proud that y'all like stuck all the way through and took this seriously, because this field is definitely something worth being in. So with that being said, we'll start off with a few awards, and we'll start off with actually the MVPs of the boot camp. And yeah, there's three top people, although everyone did well. So the first person, and let me play this. The first person I want to, you know, give an award to is Jay. Give, you know, round of applause for Jay. Definitely a top student ever since the last cohort. And I'm actually surprised, like, you know, you didn't like really jump into this yet or whatever, although there were opportunities or whatever, and there are definitely going to be opportunities. It seems like you have an engineering mind or whatever, and like it's definitely something worth this path is definitely something worth doing, because you're going to profit off of just knowing how to think the way you think. So yeah, round of applause. And
Thank you.
next person I wanted to give an award to was Terrence. Obviously, Terrence, from the beginning, I knew that you was going to be one of the ones that that really came into this boot camp and like kind of like made it through, and not like kind of like it sort of kind of came naturally to you. And I can definitely see your motivation, like your want to actually like do this. So I'm not surprised like at all that like you were definitely one of the best ones here. So give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
Next person I wanted to give an award to is Sam. Sam, obviously, you know, from the beginning. It's another one. From the beginning, I knew that you were gonna like learn a lot, because you came to the boot camp like knowing so much. And we just, like I was saying earlier, we really just needed to like mold you into like this solid developer. So you know, definitely one of the top of the class. And like I was saying, you know, top of the class, you know, you get the extra referral. Everyone did really good in this class, but the top of the class, it just signifies a who kind of like pulled ahead of the rest, in my opinion, anyway. So, you know, definitely a good congratulations to y'all three.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I like to thank God, my
So the
mom.
next person
You
I'm
know
going
what
to
I'm
give the
saying?
word to is Duran. Duran, you definitely stuck through these boot camps because I see how like passionate you are with like art and really trying to like make this technology work like for you. Definitely glad that you stuck around. Definitely glad that you have more than just like a motivation. Like you have like a uh, persistence. Like you're consistent with it, and that's what's keeping you going. So yeah, round of applause for John. Um,
Let's go, Deron.
for sure. And Kev, you were definitely very close to being MVP. I would say that you're definitely one of the top of the class, but although like I only could give it to three people, but Kev, like you and Terrence is kind of in the same boat, really. Like both y'all came through and like really like I can see the potential. Yeah. So definitely round of applause for you, Kev.
Thank you.
Woo, let's go, Kev. Woo.
Work, Kev.
Yeah. And Evan, although Evan had to drop, it's fine. Evan, you are um, definitely like you're definitely one of the youngest people here. I definitely applaud you for being in college and doing this at the same time because I know how it is to be in college and really thinking about your classes and like everything else kind of comes second nature. So what that did was like speak towards your like passion for like really wanting to learn how to code, and it says that you really like stretch yourself to do better. So round of applause for Evan. And
Let's
I'll be
go,
sending all
Evan.
of these too. I'll be putting all of these in the Slack. And I guess just a thank you again for definitely coming through doing this boot camp and like sticking through to the end because y'all definitely learned a lot from the beginning. So a final round of applause for everyone.
Just a quick note,
Woo.
it got December 18th, 2023 on the certs.
One more. Let me pause this. Go ahead. You good.
Perfect. We graduated way before. See, you know what I'm saying? He knew what was gonna happen, so he had everything set up.
Yeah, yeah.
He believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. Round of applause for the teacher.
Thank you. And I'll play the music. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. All right, cool. So I'm glad this is definitely the last class. This don't have to be like the last time we like link up or anything like that. But I did want to open it up for anybody that, wanted to say anything, about any your experience of the class, like anybody that's just coming to watch, wanted to say anything, ask any questions about the class experience. I'll open up the floor to you and then we'll end it after.
So I want to say thank you very much, Isaiah, for this year of helping me check off something on my bucket list. So, I actually been wanting to learn how to code ever since I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. When those hacking movies came out, the one with Angelina Jolie, I forgot the name of the movie, but like I've been wanting to learn the code ever since then. I've been in love with computers and stuff like that for a minute. All that said, you actually helped me to check something off the bucket list. I've been wanting to learn this for the longest. Two, I really appreciate the fact that you were willing to learn yourself and willing to kind of listen to the students, to us students. Um, the Cold Wars definitely helped quite a bit, and the job practices that we got to have, those mock interviews that we did were extremely helpful. I want to also thank Jasmine for the additional HR perspective that she was able to give us that helped shape me quite a bit. Just even outside of this field, outside of the tech field, just period, because you're going to have to deal with HR, regardless of whether you're going into the tech field or nursing or any other field. There's going to be questions that are going to be about you. So knowing how to properly communicate, those aspects of myself to help me truly get across how I feel and, professionally get across how I feel was, yeah, that information helped me gain more information. So it fed me quite a bit. And thank you for your time and effort. I know beyond us having a life, you also have a life. And so for you to take the time out to teach us and help, be as patient as you are with us, for you to take the time out and teach us and answer our questions and stuff like that, it takes a lot. It definitely takes a lot. So thank you, Isaiah, for all of the time and effort you put into teaching us and helping to guide us to become tech professionals. I like to thank God. I like to thank my mom. You know what I'm saying? All my fans out there. I wouldn't be nothing without y'all. See you.
That was good. Yes, Jess, she heard everything too. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, we definitely that was there in the background. But, all right, cool. Any other thoughts from anyone?
Yeah, so pretty much everything that Jay said about, just you putting all that effort in. And for me, the most important thing, you did it all for free. You know what I mean? Like the course was $10. And then, like you said, the price going up as it should, because it's very valuable. But to do it all and do it for free, I'm really, really grateful for it, because again, I was like this close to signing up for a different coding boot camp where they want to charge you $5K, $10K, whatever the case is, to spend the same amount of time when you not only did it for free, but like you said, you gave us the shortcuts, the best practices for what we'll need on the job, how to structure our folders and write our code so that we look like pros going into it. Like Deron was saying, just trimming a lot of the fat, like let's just get straight to the point. This is what the job wants to see from you. They don't need to see 100 degrees. They just want to see that you can code, do it live, and be professional. So I definitely appreciate all that, and appreciate everybody in the class too, just having that community. And with that said, also, as I just do want to also offer myself as a resource to your next class. Definitely, for some of the classes I was putting together the PowerPoint, like I would be happy to do that and teach a class one day or a Tuesday or a Sunday, however you have it, or just be available and just say, hey, I'm not available, but you can ping Terrence. And I'll just be happy to do that, because it helps me too, because as I'm teaching it back, I'm staying in it as I'm applying for jobs. And I just want to give back the same way you did to me. So just to pay it forward. So I appreciate that. And, I would love to be a resource to your future classes if need be.
Definitely appreciate that. I will definitely need some of y'all like to come back and like speak to like your experience. And I mean, if you want to teach the class, that's fine too, honestly. Like that just shows like progression or whatever. So yeah, definitely appreciate it. I'll definitely be reaching out about it. Especially now, because I'm in the stages of trying to plan it all out. And I'll actually incorporate, I'll insert, different classes to give some of y'all opportunities to like come through and kind of teach or kind of talk, just like we had some of the other talking sessions that we had. So yeah, definitely appreciate that for sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now that y'all have pretty much going through like all of this stuff, you're going to even if you don't apply to jobs like right away or whatever, there's always going to be like opportunities for you to like kind of work with other people. Like people are going to come to you and say, hey, I need a website built. Definitely take those opportunities, because you want to build up your your resume, so to speak, and like get your like contracting kind of things going or whatever. People want to actually build apps. I don't know how many times people ask me to build apps, and like every time I like kind of like go forth with it, there's definitely a learning experience, whether it's like more about coding or like how to like collaborate with people from different backgrounds, stuff like that. There's always value in all of that stuff. So definitely, if people haven't already asked y'all, people gonna people going to start like asking y'all like questions about that. I will also put on your LinkedIn, and it's something I have to register. Also, I have to register my business, like put Black IO as a business on LinkedIn. But I would definitely post the certificate, and I'm gonna drop all of those in the Slack. And what's called, and you can put it on your LinkedIn that you went through Black IO Bootcamp, and I would definitely vouch for you. We have all the YouTube channels if they wanted to, come through and see what the bootcamp is about, and even the testimonials that's like about like just the online course. So I could definitely be a strong recommendation for y'all. And I do know people, I do have people that's always asking me to like to work somewhere. I gotta tell them no a lot, and like a lot of time I'm like, okay, but I know somebody. So now, like, now y'all are done through the program, I'm definitely gonna recommend a lot of y'all for like jobs that just kind of come my way. So definitely look out for those things. I don't know, and I don't know if like we're all connected on LinkedIn. I know I have a few of y'all on LinkedIn. I'm not sure if I have everyone, but let me drop my LinkedIn in the chat. If you didn't already connect with me on there. That's probably how I'm going to be like reaching out to people. Let me go to my profile. Here's my LinkedIn for anybody that did not already connect with me. Sir, can I change? Oh, the cert, did I not change the date on there? What did I put on there? Oh yeah, I definitely did. I put the wrong date on there. I think I'm already thinking about next year. I definitely put 23. Okay, so I'm changing the date to 22, and I'll send all of that out in the Slack channel. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm already thinking about next year.
So hey, Isaiah, how's the signups or how's the startups going for the next cohort? Is it still going to be in January?
Yeah. So to get your information, yeah, this is for y'all to, if y'all wanted to join, it's honestly, I don't think y'all need to join, to be honest. But if y'all knew anybody that wanted to join, even if you wanted to brush up on stuff, it's fine also. But it starts in February. It's going to be the first week of February. But I'll know everyone that's going to be in the boot camp before like by like the first. Not actually, no, by like the week before it starts, maybe like like last week of January or something like that. So we're having orientation that's going to explain like how the whole cohort is going to work. This time around it's going to be 5 months instead of 6. And then I'll also give like a pre-class assignment. It's likely going to be the exact same one where the people come in and do the HTML project. Kind of go through like the first few videos and do the HTML project. The course itself it's not going to be the like for like this cohort, like the like I'll actually have 2 cohorts actually throughout the whole year. I'll have this one where it's just Black people, and we're free to like kind of like talk our stuff or whatever. And then I'll actually have another cohort as well, and that'll just be for like anybody that knows how to code. So for the first cohort, it's just strictly for Black people and those who identify as Black. This one, they're not going to have to pay like the price that's on the website. The other cohort, they will have to pay, and that may even be a mix of Black people as well, because I can only take on 30 people per cohort. So whoever don't really get in could pay the full price and be in like the secondary cohort, but this cohort is like the main one or whatever. Like this is like the main boot camp for my business. So that's how that's going to go. And yeah, more details on that during orientation. But if y'all know anybody that do want to know how to code, that want to learn how to code, definitely send them my way, even if they're not Black. If they are Black, obviously they can apply for like the actual Black, all Black boot camp. and then everybody else can fit into the secondary one that I'm going to have. And that one's going to be a little bit less hands-on, like from my end, but they will have a chance to like meet me every week, once a week, for questions and stuff like that. So that's how I'm gonna proceed for next year.
Okay.
Yeah, along with another, I think that's like for the most part, that's how it's gonna go. But yeah, 2 cohorts at the same time. Yeah.
I do have a quick question, Isaiah. Well, we will still have access to you, right? As far as if we have questions or need some mentorship or something like that, just reach out LinkedIn, basically.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, whenever the next cohort starts in February, it's gonna be first week of February, I'm gonna start the accountability meetings back up. Today was the last day for it this year, but the accountability meetings is at 9 a.m. So y'all can drop in 9 a.m. Come and ask me questions if y'all wanted. If y'all did want to like ask me a question on social media, like Instagram, LinkedIn, like, feel free to. I think the best resource to come to will be the accountability meetings, because that way you get to, like speak to me, physically, instead of me just like kind of like writing, which is very like limiting. But yeah, if you have a quick question or anything like that, or if y'all want to, if y'all want to know if like if y'all should apply to this specific job, or like is it in like your realm of like kind of like doing, like we can I can help you with that also. I'll take a quick look and say yeah or nay, or on a job, or if y'all need my opinion about things, that's there as well. The Slack channel is going to stay there, but I'm going to move, but there's only going to, I still got to think of how I'm going to do it because I think I'm only allowed to have one Slack channel. I may end up just like creating a chat for like previous cohorts for y'all to just write things in, and then remove y'all from the other chats so that we make space for the next cohort. And I'm going to start deleting some of those channels also, like the ones that have like a lot of videos and stuff in it. So definitely make sure y'all go through and like grab everything y'all need from those channels.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to get that. That's a lot of good information to know.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. As far as your YouTube channel, will you at least leave the cohort 4 channel up?
Yeah, all of that staying up. Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
For the YouTube, I'm always going to record it. Those are always going to go up. Even if somebody come through, and if somebody want to come through and watch the YouTube channel to go through the bootcamp, that's fine if they want to do that. But to be honest, it'll probably be kind of hard for them to do it because they had to actually have a course as well, and the price for that is changing. So,
Okay, that's why I was asking about that, because I did see that. Actually, one last thing before we go. In the Slack channel, I don't know if everybody saw it or not, but I posted a gift for everybody. It's a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's a PDF in there. Not to go too far into it, but like I had an unfortunate situation happen recently, and this was something that definitely helped kind of get me back on the right footing. One of my good friends referred it to me, and it definitely helped me get back in a proper mind frame. So I wanted to give it to you guys because y'all, you guys in the class, the community covered me while I wasn't able to do some things. So I really appreciate y'all more than y'all can ever know. I got all y'all messages and things like that, and I really appreciate that, man. So I just wanted to give something back to y'all. So please definitely look in the general chat and Slack. I posted a PDF in there for y'all, so y'all can take a look at that book. It's pretty dope.
Appreciate that, Teron.
I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, bro. Same, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I got it. I just downloaded it now.
yeah, same here. I just downloaded it. I remember the first recommendation you gave. I don't know if it was the first one or Richest Man in Babylon. That book shifted the way I think about things, and my habits changed because of it. So I'll definitely be checking out the book and trying to figure out like what's in it, trying to dive deep in it. So yeah, Thanks.
It's a really short read. It's only 108 pages long, but it's really powerful and poignant, and you know, kind of like your class, and it gets right to the point, cuts off the fat. You know what I'm saying? But just gives you really good tools in order to, you know what I mean, about the process of becoming great, and you know, sticking to the process, and staying persistent. You know what I mean? And focusing on those things instead of the end goal at all times. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, you just reminded me too. Something's one of my like random ideas like that I have in my head. One was to start like a book club. I probably won't be starting it, but because of my time restriction, but like that's definitely something that's like in the works, like in the future or whatever. Just to read like books like this, because books is it's the way you get the information. So it's just, and then you get some good stuff out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, those are the experiences of people who decided to take the time to write those things down.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like living somebody else's life in a way, and gaining their experience without having to go through their trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? And in order for them to gain that experience. So, um, you know, and those saying, everything that's really, you know, especially for us as Black people, we don't crack books enough. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we need to read more, especially in a society of everything being instant and online and audiobook form and things like that. Like, I think it's really important to turn the pages and actually read, even if it is on, you know, on your digital format.
Mhm. Sure.
I agree.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just stop the recording and then we'll start to end class.